Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Arlie Ingalls here, and this video is part of the recipe series. Today I'm going to talk about the baked spinach and artichoke dip. And first of all, let me apologize. You're going to see me glancing down to look at my notes, so I make sure that I capture all the details that I would like to. So I apologize in advance. So baked spinach and artichoke dip. This is one that most of the recipes in my cookbook are really easy to make. So anyone from a novice to an extremely accomplished cook and chef will be able to make any of these with great ease. They have great flavors, and most of them are very impressive. And this is one of the ones that I find more impressive as well. So the ingredients are all in the recipe. You can make it just in the cookbook as you read it. However, I think the videos help a little bit. I could talk a little bit more about what I actually do when I make these recipes, so that it gives you some other options or process options as well. So one of the things that it calls for to do is in the spinach, to nuke your spinach to get it wilted. When you do that, it does draw out a lot of the moisture from the spinach, and you have to get that out of there, or at least most of it out of there. And it suggests that you press it between paper towel, which I have done. I will probably do it again because that does work. However, it does stick to the paper towel quite a bit. And if you start tearing the paper towel, it's just not very good. Another method that I have found that works really, really well is to put it in a colander that has smaller holes in it and then squeeze that moisture out in the colander. It makes it much easier to get the spinach out and then proceed with the chopping after that. So that's one of the little tricks that you could use. Instead of squeezing the moisture out with a paper towel, squeeze it out using a colander. You're probably not going to get as much moisture out using the colander, but some moisture in there is okay. It doesn't matter. So that's one thing. The next thing, okay, the seasoning of it. So, when you bake something, you have to really follow those baking instructions to the letter. Otherwise, whatever you're making is not going to come out correctly. With something like this, you can adjust all of those ingredients to make it the flavor come out whatever way you want it to. So with the seasoning, that's entirely up to you. For me, I use sea salt, I use garlic powder, I use a Cajun seasoning. I like that in what I cook. Chipotle pepper, I'm very fond of that flavor. It adds a rich smokiness to what you're making, but it does add some heat. So if you don't want some of that hot seasoned heat, be careful with that one. Okay, and then finally, like I said, the recipe is really easy. Put all the ingredients together, bake it for a while. A couple of things that you can do with it to make it different. I like to add popcorn shrimp to it, so it does have some protein in it as well. You can also use lump crab meat or just regular crab meat in it as well. If you do use the lump crab meat, always remember you have to lightly fold it into the mixture. You cannot stir it. If you stir it, you're going to break up those lumps, and then you defeat the purpose of putting the lump crab meat in there. So that's one thing. Yeah, and then if you want to have a crunchy crust on it, I will take saltines or Ritz crackers, or if I want to use a flavor, there's a variety of crackers out there. Crush them up to where they're a fine grain, and then sprinkle that on top right before you bake the dessert, and you'll end up with a crunchy top on it. So yeah, those are the variations that I use when I make this recipe. Again, it comes together really, really quickly. It is an impressive dish. I like pita chips with it, but you could serve it with bread, crackers, chips. If you use a chip, it's got to be a hearty one. You can't use the light ones. So yeah, that's all the updates on this recipe. Again, like all of the videos, these videos enhance the information that's in the cookbook itself. In fact, let me talk about the cookbook. Cookbook is Cooking on the Prairie with the Ingalls. I'm the part of the Ingalls family that was the subject of the Little House on the Prairie books and TV series. So these are recipes that are family recipes or my personal recipes that I've used over the years. So in this particular one, it comes together really easy, very impressive. Try it. You don't need this video to make the recipe. You can make it just the way it is in the cookbook without ever watching this video. So you should be seeing a link to the book. You can also find my other 2 books out there. These are the first 2 that I wrote. They're nonfiction. They add a 4th and 5th generation of the family stories. So yeah, hope you get it. Try it. I would love to hear from you. And thank you for joining me today.